Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to look at the Mattel DC Universe Classics Wave 10, the Joker. Now this is not a new figure by any stretch of imagination. I've had this guy for at least 10 years. But he's one of my favorite Joker figures, and I'm a huge fan of the DC Universe Classics collection, so I thought, why not do a review on this guy? He looks to be an updated version of the old Kenner Superpowers Joker, even down to the mallet accessory. So let's take a look at the packaging. As you can see at the top, DC Universe Classics, the Joker, Wave 10, Figure 3, includes your Collect and Connect figure piece. I believe he has the right leg of Imperiex. Here he is in the package. He's got plenty of accessories, the Build-A-Figure piece, some playing cards, a Joker fish, a Joker cane, and a mallet. Pretty nice accessories. Mostly blank on the sides. Although you can see we have the right leg of the Build-A-Figure. Other side shows you the same thing. At the back, here's the rest of the wave. It's a pretty good wave, although I really collect the Batman-related stuff. So I only got Batman, Joker, and Man-Bat from the wave. But Beast Boy, Robo-Man, Forager, and Power Girl are pretty cool as well. Wish I'd gotten that Power Girl figure back in the day. We have a little description, biography of the Joker, and at the bottom, have a barcode in case that happens to help anybody. So no further ado, let's open it up. Alright, now that I have this figure out of the package, here he is with all his accessories laid out. He has a mallet, some playing cards, a Joker fish, and a Joker cane. I actually don't have Imperix's right leg anymore. I sold the thing off many years ago. But that's not even really that relevant to this video. Before taking a look at the accessories, let's talk about and check out the actual figure. So this is the Joker, a classic, iconic, traditional version. That's what I appreciate about DC Universe Classics. They made the regular, normal-looking designs. McFarlane's making some classic figures, but a lot more modern figures. And I appreciate that as well. But I'd love a little more mixture of classic, along with Dark Knight's Metal, etc., etc. So let's take a look at him. Start with his face here. He's got the iconic look. He's a very tall, thin figure. Kind of lanky. Big smile. He's got the thin chin coming down. Green hair, kind of slicked back. Red lips, white face, of course. He's got a green shirt, sort of black bow tie, orange vest, purple jacket. Of course, he's got his flower. Going further down, purple pants, pinstripe suit, purple gloves. It's an older figure, so articulation is not up to par as of late. Single jointed elbow, single jointed knees, dress shoes, nice little tail for his jacket. But it is a very nice Joker figure. This was back when Mattel had the DC license, before McFarlane had it. Mattel had the DC license for almost 20 years. They started off with a comic line called Batman. Then it evolved to DC Superheroes, and that evolved to DC Universe Classics, which is what this guy's part of, and eventually it went to the DC Multiverse, until finally Mattel got so lazy that they lost the line, and McFarlane took it over and is really kicking their asses. And honestly, looking at this figure, the paint job is excellent. Even 10 or 15 years later, really don't see a lot of paint flaws, just a little bit of paint rub on the front of his hair. And just a closer look at his face and head sculpt. He's got a tiny bit of paint rub at the top front of his hair. But considering how old this figure is, and a lot of time, I'll just throw him into a bag with a bunch of other Joker figures. He's done pretty well. Nice, traditional, iconic Joker. I want to give a big shout out to my boy Albert for making this diorama for me. He's one of my subscribers. We were chatting on Instagram, and he makes dioramas. So we worked out a deal, and now I have this amazing, fantastic Joker diorama. Now after I got his accessories, he's got 4 items, no display stand, and that's fine by me. I'm not a display stand kind of guy. I think they look hideous when your figures are being displayed on a shelf. I'd much rather have a deck of cards and a display stand. Speaking of, let's start off with this deck of cards. Got a big pile of cards here, about 5 cards. Most important one is going to be that Joker card at the front there. On the back side, regular back of cards, so it can look pretty nice when you have some figures holding a deck of cards like they're playing poker or something. Here's the Joker holding the deck of cards. And here he is, showing you his hand. Of course he's holding a Joker card. Now let's look at his Joker fish, another iconic Joker accessory. We've got this fish here. Nice bit of texturing and sculpting, the scales there. And of course, it's got a green eye, big giant red lips and smile. Joker fish indeed. Here's the Joker holding and laughing at his very own Joker fish. Now for the Joker cane. It's made of sort of a soft, bendable material here, so it's not going to break. It's got a lot of give to it. The top, we have sort of a jester head here. It looks like the Joker. It's got that jester hat made of gold. Made of black cane, little gold tip at the bottom. Here's the Joker holding his cane. He can hold it like a weapon. He can also hold it like a cane and put his weight on it. And finally, let's check out his mallet. If any of you out there had the old Kenner Superpowers Joker, you know this mallet looks very familiar. Made in that green color. It's got the J on the top, the Joker face, sort of handle for the mallet is a long nose. Very reminiscent of the Superpowers Joker accessory. Here's the Joker holding and getting ready to swing that mallet. Now they've taken a pretty good look at both the figure and his accessories. Now let's check out his height. Now he's a DC Universe Classics Mattel figure. They're typically labeled as 6-inch scale, but they usually ran around 6.5 inches tall. So from bottom to the top of his head, he's staying at about 6.4 inches tall, which can translate to about 16 centimeters. I'm really happy they aren't just 6 inches tall. That's always a little too small for my tastes. Now for his articulation. Starting with his head here. Of course, you're going to rotate from side to side. Can't really look him down much. Can't really tilt. It is a ball joint, but you don't really get a big range of motion there. Shoulders, also on a ball joint. Goes up about 90 degrees. Up, down, around, all that good stuff. He's got a bicep cut. Single jointed elbows, and they don't even go in a full 90 degrees. I wish they went a little further. His wrist, traditional rotation. He's got a normal ab crunch inside of here, forward and back. Waist swivel below that, but you don't get too much out of it. Legs, completely does the splits. Not a ball joint. Old school DC Universe Classics hips. They go forward. And kind of disappointing, but not too bad. Back, not much. He's got what normally I would call a thigh cut, but it's right above his knee. Single jointed knees, they don't go back that far. Then his ankle here, forward and back. Not really tilt rock. Not really rotation. A little wiggle room there, not much. Here's the Joker in front of this diorama holding his mallet. You can see just how massive this diorama really is. A closer look at Joker holding that mallet. Here's Joker in the top shelf of my Joker base. He gets an entire bookshelf for his army. A closer look at Joker at his desk. Here's Joker and Harley Quinn dancing, surrounded by a bunch of Joker whores. It's going to be a wild one tonight. Now let's check him out next to some other action figures. Starting off with some other Mattel Joker figures, and then we'll check him out with some Joker figures from different various companies. Here he is, next to the Joker figure from Mattel's original 6-inch Batman line, simply called Batman. A little bit less articulation, a little bit less detail. I believe they re-released this guy in a different color with a gas mask in the DC Superheroes line. Here he is, next to a black and white tuxedo version of Joker. It's the exact same figure, just repainted. This is part of the DC Universe Classics line in the Mad Love 2-pack with Harley Quinn. Those are actually the only 2 Joker figures they made in the DC Universe Classics line. The line had sort of a sideline spin-off called Batman Legacy. They made this Trenchcoat Joker and this Arkham City Sick Joker in that line. And before they went to the smaller scale, and then back to the larger scale in the DC Multiverse line, they had another line called Batman Unlimited. They made an Injustice 2 Joker in that line. And at the end there, Mattel's line was called the DC Multiverse line. They made a bunch of different Joker figures in that line. We have the Endgame Joker, Dark Knight Returns Joker, old Toy Biz throwback Joker, and then a few different Joker figures played by Jared Leto from Suicide Squad. And I believe the very last Joker figure that Mattel made was this Heath Ledger Dark Knight Joker. This is part of their signature collection in the DC Multiverse line. Mattel made a couple more 6-inch scale sublines alongside DC Universe Classics and Multiverse. Here he is, next to 4 different Mattel Dark Knight Movie Master Joker figures. Then, with a couple of Mattel's 1966 Joker figures. And now, next to a Mattel Brave and the Bold Joker. And at the end there, Mattel had some other 6-inch scale, more basic lines. Here's this Joker, next to a couple of Batman Unlimited Joker figures. Then, next to a few 6-inch scale Mattel Batman Missions Joker figures. Here's this Joker, next to a couple of DC Universe Classics Harley Quinn figures. Iconic regular Harley Quinn. The white face one for the Mad Love 2-pack is my favorite. He also looks pretty good next to the DC Direct, DC Icons Harley Quinn. Here's Joker, next to a bunch of Mattel Dark Knight Movie Master Joker thugs. Always use these guys for this Joker's henchmen. I also got a bunch of the Joker as bank robber thug from Dark Knight. These guys just increase my Joker thug ranks, leaving me with a ton of Dark Knight Movie Master Joker thugs. Hell, it's an army. I also got a couple of the Mayfix Joker's bank robber thugs, just for a couple more henchmen. And I thought this Batman Unlimited Joker looked more like a Joker thug than the actual Joker himself, so I got a few of those. And here he is, next to a bunch of DC Direct Arkham City Joker thugs. And now let's check him out, next to some action figures from different various companies, to see how he fits in both scale and style-wise, in case you want to know which lines you can mix him with. I'm going to start off my comparisons with some of the large action figure lines I collect, and work my way smaller, and I'm going to include as many Joker figures as I can during these comparisons. Here he is, next to some Jakks-specific wrestling figures. And here he is, next to some DST, or Diamond Select toys. Then, next to a half-drank bottle of Ice Mountain water. And here he is, next to some McFarlane DC Multiverse Joker figures. Then, next to some DC Direct and DC Collectibles Joker figures. And here he is, standing with some NECA figures. Then, next to some Mattel wrestling figures. And now, next to some Jazzwares AEW wrestlers. And here he is, next to some Mezco 112 collective figures. And since we already checked him out, next to plenty of other Mattel Joker figures, here he is, next to some Mattel DC Universe Classics and Multiverse figures. And here he is, with some Mayfix Joker figures. Then, with some Hasbro Marvel Legends. And here he is, next to some SH Figure Arts Joker figures. And finally, next to some Jazzwares 4-Net figures. So overall, it's a very nice Joker figure. It's one of my favorites. He has that classic, iconic look, but he's not super old school. It's not like a 40s Joker. A little bit of modern mixed in there. Definitely reminds me of that old Superpowers Joker, and that is not a bad thing. Sculpt and paint job are excellent. He has that signature Joker look, the thin jaw, big smile, purple suit. Articulation, yeah, it's a little bit dated to today's standards, but it was definitely good at the time. Although Mattel had a really hard time evolving, they were making the same type of figures 10 years later. No wonder McFarlane has the license. His accessories are very nice as well. If I were to rate this Joker, I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. It has a very special place in my heart. When it came out, it was definitely my best Joker figure for a very long time. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. Let me know if you want to see any more older reviews like this or figures. I plan to do one every once in a while. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I will talk to you guys real soon.